What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dash, coming back to you for no takes. Well, it's that time again, you guys. It's movie news time. And I have quite a few things I want to discuss, some things I'm really excited about, some things that are on the horizon. So, you know what, with that said, let's go ahead and just jump into it. Now, for this particular one, this was actually brought to my attention by somebody that I chat with on social media, and this has to do with the movie titled Heathen. Now, I'm excited for this because of the fact that it's the particular director who's attached to this, and that is Catherine Hardwicke. Now, if you're not familiar with her, she's been attached to quite a few things going way back. One movie titled 13. I think another one people are probably really familiar with, and that's Twilight. And then most recently, I've seen her work with the movie Miss Abala, starring Gina Rodriguez. So to not realize I didn't know anything about this was definitely not something I'd heard about. It wasn't on my radar. This might have just been something that just came out, so it didn't, get around too quickly. But that's fine. I have no problem when I find out about the stuff from others. So with that said, I'm excited for this one because this I had to definitely check what this has to do in regards to comic book related stuff. And this actually has to do with a female-led Viking type of fantasy story. So let me read off the synopsis because when I don't know it, I like to know my stuff. So needless to say, it says, Heathen is a story of Adis, a young Viking warrior who comes out as queer in an age and culture of merciless patriarchy. Her ostracism leads her on a quest to right those cultural wrongs with Odin, the leader of the Viking gods. So I love things that are fantasy anyway. We have a couple things coming out I'm looking forward to, honestly, just to kind of piggyback off. I have something called Carnival Rose coming out, and also stuff like The Witcher. So yes, I'm down for anything fantasy. I love things like this, so I'm definitely looking forward to this. This is just in the beginning stages, so I don't know who's been cast yet. We know she's the director. I like that she does a little bit of everything in regards to the different genres she picks for doing, said work as a director. So that definitely leaves me open at the idea of her being the helm at this particular movie. So yes, when I know more about this one, I will keep you all abreast. Like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing who will definitely be cast. I think she's also an executive producer on this as well, so that's a good little part right there. So we'll definitely see who's going to be attached in writing the script, and that always plays a part. I say it all the time because I check the person's work. If it's something they've already done before that I'm familiar with, that definitely helps, and it makes me feel comfortable that they'll be able to tell a good story. And people who read the comics will be happy because, when you butcher it really badly, they do let you know. So, but with that said, you guys, again, like I said, when I know more, you will know more. So moving on from that. Now, this one, I just did actually a reaction to the trailer. This is for the movie titled The Hunt. Word is out that they will be canceling the release for the movie as of right now. And I think that is needed. Nothing wrong with that. As you all know, with what we're dealing with, if you've been watching news or you live on a rock, with the most recent shootings that have happened in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. I think it's probably fitting. I think this is supposed to be coming out, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the end of this month or early September. I can't remember the date of when it was supposed to be dropped. I think it's the end of the month. But needless to say, I think, no, September. So I'm kind of, take a little step back. I figure most likely what will happen is they're going to probably just wait for a little bit of calming, but at the rate we're going with the climate, you never know. This probably most likely will come out sometime, maybe next year. I don't see it coming out maybe early next year, maybe sometime later. They're going to have to figure out where they're going to put it at, honestly, because like I stated quite a few times on the most previous movie news, there's a lot coming out next year. So it's going to have to just see how this all pans out. But in the end, I really feel like they need to do that. I know some also comments were made about the overall premise of the movie, where it's pinning individuals with different ideals against each other, killing whatever. A lot of people don't like that with the climate we're in. Let me put it like this, and I'm gonna try to keep this as short and sweet as possible because I could go on a full rant if I wanted to. We're always gonna have movies, not with this particular story led, but particular movies with the violence in them. That's not gonna ever stop. That's just how it always is. I know also when it comes to what's happening in the world right now in America, we're dealing with these situations with the guns and the shootings and all that. Them basically making comments that they think video games play a part as well. I'm not even going to go there because that's always the go-to default for when things like this happen and individuals lose loved ones. I'm not even going to even entertain that statement because I feel like that's some BS. But needless to say, this is what individuals want to think. Now, me, I can differentiate the two. I can't speak for everyone else. I can only speak for myself. I know when I'm watching a movie, I know what's going on. I know that this is just a movie, and I move on from that, whichever. Now, I know some individuals would get really bothered a little bit into their feelings about it. So in the end, the movie production companies, they made the better choice. Let's just go with that. But in the end, they're going to release this. Money went into this. They want to recoup that money. Let's just be real. This is a business. This is Hollywood. This is how it always is going to be. It's not going to change. You're going to have millennia TV shows, present day, and in the future, they're going to come out. You have many movies. Same thing. It's always going to be like this. Yeah, you're going to still have video games down the pike. It's always going to be somebody making something brand new, whatever, and all that. That's going to entail this. That's not going to stop. This is all considered a business. And that's exactly what it is. Trust me, any individual, whoever's out here doing these things, whatever and all that, trust and believe me, that's the farthest thing for them using it as a depiction as to what they're doing, whichever. This is a totally different situation. So with that said, I'm not going to get into it anymore. I said my piece about that. But in the end, like I stated, they're doing the right thing. They're pulling for the time being. Hopefully they'll find a date next year for it that works better, whichever around. Don't know when that will be. Right now, as of now, present day, we don't know. So until then, I will keep my eyes out exactly when this will actually be released again. And if it does, I will note this when I do my movie news. So until then, we will not be seeing this movie. Like I stated, I did enjoy the trailer. I love the casting. And I do look forward to seeing this. So, but with that said, moving on. This one right here is going to be a movie that a particular female is working on that I'm actually excited to see. This one is from Olivia Wilde, and this has to do with like a psychological thriller. She's titled on this is called Don't Worry. I'm curious about this because she just came out with a movie, like a coming of age movie called Booksmart. I saw the trailer. It was hilarious. I still need to see the movie. I'm going to have to get on that. So, but yes. I love that she's kind of mixing up a lot of the different things that she's picking to direct. This will be her I think, is it her second or will be her third? I think it'll be her second directorial film that she'll be doing. So I'm actually excited. It's kind of like she's gradually working her way behind the lens a little bit more so than doing some work in front, which is nice. And I love that. It's refreshing. But in regards to the synopsis, let me see if I have a little something I can tell you. They say this is a psychological thriller, about a 1950s housewife whose reality begins to crack and revealing a disturbing truth underneath. Basically, very short and sweet, but very effective. Love when they give you a little bit, but don't give you all of it. I'm excited at the thought of this. And said it's 1950s. I'm like, okay, a disturbing truth underneath. I'm looking forward to seeing who else will be in the movie with her. That will be interesting. She is going to be directing and starring in this. So it definitely has me, again, intrigued. Want to know, for right now, it's up for auction in regards to the movie. So from what it's stating, somebody will pick up this. You never know if it's going to be a streaming service. I mean, let's just be real. Amazon, Netflix, I mean, everybody wants a piece, so it's not to say movie companies might get this, but hey, streaming services, some of them, they be salivating for movies like this. So, and Netflix seems to be on par. Don't get me wrong, Amazon's doing this thing, but Netflix just seems like it's on a whole nother level. So we'll see who picks it up. The more information I get about this one, I'm curious, and I will definitely note this as more of it comes in. But I'm going to keep my eyes out on this one, like I stated. She's an actress. I do follow some of her work, so I'm looking forward to seeing who will be attached, which company, whichever. And then, you know what? I wouldn't mind that if it actually is streaming, because it's nice. Sometimes I don't mind sitting home watching a good little movie, off of a streaming service. I still partake in the theater. Love my theaters, it's a getaway of sorts, so, But again, looking forward to it. So like I stated, when I know more, you will know more. So moving on from that. Now this one, I'm excited because the last one that came out, I was here for it, and this has to do with Thor, Love and Thunder. You all saw Comic-Con when I discussed it a couple weeks ago, how some of the cast, of course, Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, coming, and then, Taika Waititi is going to be the director. Excited about that. And then seeing that they're bringing back Jane Foster, a.k.a. Natalie Portman, and we're going to get our female Thor. I was excited to see her when she came on, and of course, Waititi gave her the the hammer, and she was just loving it, and just the amount of just excitement from everybody. So I'm excited for this now. They're claiming the script is complete. Yes. Also that they're going to be starting on production. Let me note, because I noted it says early 2020. Yes, this year is almost, we're halfway through. So we're over halfway through. So I'm excited knowing that they're going to be stars. I know he is going to be eventually doing press for another movie I did a reaction to, and that's Jojo Rabbit. And I think after that, he'll probably most likely finish up another film. He's working on something else. And then once that's wrapped up by the end of the year, he'll be starting this. I'm assuming maybe early, like springtime, whichever. That will be nice. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing, really wanting to know what the story is gonna be like in regards to how this is all going to come together. How Jane's going to become the female Thor. I'm just really looking forward to seeing how this is going to flow. We've been following Thor since 2011 with the first one. I enjoyed the first one. I did not care for the second one, Dark World. I did not. It was just like they threw that thing together. That was like filler, just honestly. But when 2017 came, we got Thor Ragnarok. I was here for it. Thing was so good. It was hilarious. Oh my god. And then of course the casting on that, Jeff Goldblum being in it, seeing more of Hulk, I was here for it. I was here for it. It was just so funny. Tessa just being just awesome as she always is, as playing as Valkyrie. And then of course her being in charge, of, Asgard right now. So, and remember how Thor left, with Guardians of the Galaxy, so we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to seeing how everything is going to transition, show, him back there, how Jane gets, tied into the story, to see her, how it's going to affect their, relationship, even though they haven't been together for a long time, that's going to be really interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the story is going to unfold, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. They're stating the date, so I can note the date again. It is November 5th, 2021. So that means if they start early 2020, that gives them over a full year of short just to get all the stuff together. And then by the time, Comic-Con comes, we're going to get something in 2021. They're going to probably show something really nice for us around that time to get us really hyped. We'll probably get like a teaser early on, and then by the time Comic-Con comes, we might get a good trailer, to get us ready and hyped for it to come out in November. So I'm here for that. I'm totally down for that. But yes, you guys, definitely looking forward to this. Looking forward to it. I love me some Chris Hemsworth. He's hilarious, and I love the banter between him and Tessa, since they've worked on 2 movies together. Of course, Ragnarok, and then they did the most recently, Men in Black International. So I'm looking forward to seeing them work again together. So, but with that said, again, anybody else coming on board in this, when I know a lot about that, I will definitely keep you all abreast to that, because you already know how I do with that. So, but moving on. This one, I'm looking forward to this because this has to do with James Wan. That all encompasses horror. Love it. Now for him, he's working on a yet untitled horror movie. I wish we knew a little bit more, but I'm excited. He has another project coming up. He is just staying busy. Now, I've been following him really since Saw. Then of course with all the different franchises, him bringing Insidious into the fold, and then of course our Conjuring, and then of course we getting other movies he's done in the mix of that, like with Annabelle, Annabelle Comes Home, things of that nature. And then branching out doing Aquaman, and then here of course he's coming back to Aquaman 2. He's busy. Now they're not saying anything about it. It definitely is still a yet untitled horror movie. I'm really looking forward to knowing some. I just wanted to put that out there because anything when James Wan's attached to, I'm down for. Plus, he's actually executive producer on now canceled show The Swamp Thing, which I watched the whole first season, and I'm bummed because it was really good, and I'm just pissed about that. But like I said, he's attached to so many other different things. Even though he hasn't done a horror movie, he's directed it himself. I think the last one he did was The Conjuring 2. That was 2016, I think. Yes. But yeah. I'm just looking forward to see he's attached to another horror, and I want to feel like they all are distinctly different, so we don't have to worry about this one probably being anything like that, because some individuals like to compare everything to when they do certain movies, want to see if this is similar in the way its style is done. Hopefully it's not, so we can move past that. Everything's different so far, like with all his other movies, even Saw, Insidious, Conjuring. Yes, so that's fine. I'm down for that. But yes, when I know more about this particular horror movie, I most definitely will let you all know. I just had to put that out there, shout out for that, because knowing he's working on something new on top of that makes me always happy to know, because he's just busy. He's really a busy man. Now this is a particular director I'm excited because of what he's stating he wants to do, and that's for the upcoming MCU Phase 5 Blade. When I talked about this on Comic-Con the weekend of it, with all the stuff I was putting out, you guys, it was so much stuff to discuss. But when it got to this one, I had my feelings already known. And I'm not even going to lie. I did a side eye because I was just like, okay, I really love me some Wesley Snipes. And I was like not feeling it, like really. But don't get me wrong. Mahershala Ali is an exceptional actor with 2 Oscars behind his belt. Do not get me wrong when I say it like this. I just like I said it in the Comic-Con breakdown. I need to see him in costume. I need to see him in the look. I need to see it all. Now, David Leitch is stating that he wants to direct Blade. Now, I'm down for that because he's done very well doing the first John Wick. He did great doing Atomic Blonde. And of course Deadpool 2. Let me not forget that my mom was with Blake. The potential is there because of the background. Secondly, one thing I didn't know, and I love when I found out little nuggets here and there. Didn't realize he was in the backdrop of the original Blade movie where he was in the Blood Club. And he stated, I want to note this, he was like, I love Blade. He says, and it's actually one of the first stunt jobs that I was in. He says the original Wesley Snipes one, first one of course, I was a stunt performer in that movie. I was in the Blood Club. You remember that scene? I remember that faithfully. Yes, dancing around in the recycled special effects blood. It was great. Had no idea that. Wow. See, and if I pulled a baby out, I'd be searching for him within all the people, whichever, but it'd be hard for me to probably find him because he was probably all blood up like they were all doing that, trying to fend off Blade before they got their butts killed. So, but yes, I'm hoping it's a possibility he will be considered. He does have a movie out that's right now, and that's Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. Is doing very well because it's still #1. There's a possibility he might get asked to come in if he's putting out into the sphere and the right people. If Kevin Feige gets wind of that, might have a little sit down chat with him to see if the potential is there. That would be nice. And I would like that because he's done good action. So, and we're going to need that. Secondly, him being a stunt double and dealing with stunts, working on a lot of different stunt movies where he played the stunt double for Brad Pitt in quite a few of his movies. Troy, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, just to name a few. So it's not like he wouldn't know how to help Mahershala Ali figure out, how to do certain scenes and sequences in regards to even the action sequences. That would be perfect. Because I already made a comment about that when I was talking about it to a couple of friends. He better get that build up, that bulk up with his build, and those action sequences better be on point because the thing with him is this: the difference between him and Wesley is the fact that Wesley has that background in martial arts, so he can do all those sequences a little bit more as if it's just like a ballet of sorts where it just comes effortlessly. And I really want to see him do good in this because we've been waiting for them to bring Blade into the mix, into the fold. So I just hope they do it justice. Please do it justice. And I'm like this. Please have a good director. If David Leitch can't get this, whoever they pick better be somebody they feel confident. And I feel like MCU has not let us down. So I'm not going to go in there just, being straight negative about that, whichever. I feel like they're going to pick the right person they feel is the one. So I'm hoping he might be on the list of people they're considering anyway. We just don't know it yet. So again, when I know more about this one, I most definitely plan to tell you all this one because this is one of those ones that's a part of it, that will be a part of Phase 5 that I most definitely will be there day one. So I'm looking forward to that. Now this one is one that I'm definitely be interested in seeing, and this has to do with Black Adam. This is of course through DC, and this is the one that our boy Dwayne Johnson will be attached. I'm excited for this one because this has been a discussion off and on for a while because with Dwayne Johnson doing so many different movies, he's always busy doing something else. It just kept looking like it get pushed back. Now, of course, Shazam came out. Thing was good early this year. Hilarious. It was great. Zachary Levi did his thing. I loved it. I'm looking forward to a second one. We already know they're doing a second one, so that's awesome. I know they're going to take some time. Make sure you get that script right so we can get this baby, popping so they can start that. Now, with this one, the director, and I want to get his name correctly because I already discussed him, and I'm happy he's on board. This has to do with Jaime Colette Serra. He actually has done quite a few movies that I love. He did The Shallows. He did the movie Unknown, and he did the movie, one of my favorites from, I think, 2009 is The Orphan. So I'm happy to know he's attached. Plus, he just finished doing a movie with Dwayne Johnson, which is The Jungle Cruise. So the fact that he signed up on this one to do this actual movie, I'm actually excited for this one. And let me know what he says. They were talking to him recently. He says, actually, the success of Shazam was awesome for us, and it was important for us, which is their production team, whichever, excuse me, I wanted to note that. I'm not talking about Jamais. He says, for us, and it was important for us to launch that, get that out into the world, and begin crafting this universe. It's a big thing for us to create this universe, this DC section of the universe, with characters we have planned to bring into headline for Shazam, and Black Adam. Now, I'm down for this, whichever. And also with Colette Serra, he says he's hungry to break new ground with Black Adam and give the fans something very cool and special. So that was his kind of feelings on that. So I'm excited that they're teaming back up again to do a movie again. I'm probably going to consider seeing the Jungle Cruise just to see what he does in this. But I mean, overall as a director, he's great, and I love it because he did a little bit of everything. That's why I always make it a point to say I love directors who do a little bit of everything, not just sticking to one genre more so than others. Show that you can, move it around a little bit and keep people. And the fact that he's just, suspense thriller, things of that nature. Of course, action, drama, and then also now he's going to be going into comic book territory. So this will be very, very good. Secondly, what's interesting with this one is this. They're not sure exactly. They're considering filming late 2020. So I'm thinking if they're starting late 2020, they're going to use mostly all of 2021 to work on the movie and also, CGI, whatever. This might be looking at coming out 2022. The only other movie I know right now that's coming out around that time is Aquaman 2. So that would be nice because that means there's 2 blockbuster movies that'll be coming out. And I know for a fact that Dwayne Johnson want to make sure this gets a perfect date to come out. Because with Aquaman, that's coming out, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're still doing the December thing. Holiday, around that time. May bank the first time. And it's almost like if it worked the first time, they already know a lot of people during the holidays will be out in the movies. That was a perfect date for them to pick again. They're not stupid. So I'm curious to see what part of the year they're going to pick for that. We'll have to see. I will keep my eyes open on this. Secondly, in regards to when we think Black Adam might make an appearance with Shazam, I don't think it'll be in the second one. Something makes me think if the second one does very well, which they're going to have to make sure it does, that means that we'll probably get him in Shazam 3. So I'm hoping that is the case because that's what I'm really going because they want to see that. You see many other comic books or pictures they always try to put out where it shows Shazam going up against toe-to-toe with Black Adam. So I'm here for it and I'm looking forward to seeing it. That's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to that. So, but moving on for that. Now, this is something that's going to be happening through Netflix. And I'm excited because it's going to be starring a movie showcasing Jason Momoa. And what can I say? I was just talking about Aquaman too. So yeah, you already know I'm here for anything he works. I've been following him since Stargate, stuff, Baywatch. I've been following well before Game of Thrones. Let me just put that out there because I always like to throw that out there. Now they know it was not Game of Thrones. I was watching it well before that. So needless to say, this movie is going to be considered a revenge thriller. It's titled Sweet Girl. Not too much information on it. We do have a director. This is a person who's worked on him with his other shows, Braven and Frontier. He actually does mostly a lot of more cinematography, but this will be his directorial debut in this particular movie, and this is Brian Andrew Mendoza. I'm excited to see what he's going to bring. Now, in regards to the synopsis, let me see what they have here. They says, the revenge thriller will follow a man's quest for justice after his wife's untimely death. That's all we're getting. We're not going any more information. Hopefully, as time goes on, we'll hear a little bit more about that. Don't know where this is supposed to fit into when it's going to be released because right now there's a lot going on with him supposed to start production with Aquaman 2. I don't know if he's been doing some protesting in regards to Hawaii from what I've been hearing. So I don't know. He's also working on Dune. So I know that's happening as we speak. So hopefully after Dune, he might be doing this, and then they're going to start into Aquaman 20 because that doesn't come out until 2022. So, got to see how that falls into this. But I'm excited because Brave It was good, but Frontier is good. That's his television series, and he does very well, and he produces on that, whichever. So he has a good working relationship with some individuals, Mendoza being one of them, I think, over a course of almost 10 years. So the fact that he says he feels excited to work on these things with these individuals he's had, a friendship, a good working relationship with for so many years, and that's a good testament with him. Not to say other people don't do that, but he's very, I think, loyal in the sense of, if he works with certain people in this type of area of like movies, filmmaker, whatever that, if he can do certain things and bring them on board and they continue to work together and everybody's, got a job doing their thing and all that, that's a good thing. And I like that. He's just a cool guy anyway. I would love to meet him. He just seems like he'd be awesome. So, but yes, this looks like this will be something I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be the wife, who ends up, having an untimely death. Definitely looking forward to who's doing the casting, who else will be cast, who will be considered the villain if he's going out to get that revenge. You already know I love those. So hopefully we'll know more. Like I said, over the course of a couple of months, they'll tell us more. And again, when I know more, you will know more. So moving on from that. Now this one I'm looking forward to. This has to do with Venom 2. I'm excited. I enjoyed the first one, of course, starring, Tom Hardy. We had, Michelle Williams in this one. And I'm trying to remember his name. Oh gosh, I cannot remember the guy's name. I'm just going to have to put his name up here and I'll just put his face. But needless to say, I'm excited for this particular one because when it first came out, I wasn't sure because when they said it was going to be PG-13, I was pissed. Like, are you serious? This should be rated R. And when it came out, I really enjoyed it. And I was very happy, and I was happy it did very well at the box office because it made over 800 million. So that was a good sign that we could foresee a second one coming. So I'm excited for the second one. Also, with the second one, I'm looking forward to seeing, which we already know who's going to be in the second one, and that's Woody Harrelson. Definitely, if you all saw the end credits at the end, seeing, he showed up in that. There's no way I could be spoiling. It's been over a year since it came out. Don't even dare come for me. I am definitely looking forward to this. I know, of course, Tom Hardy will be back. Michelle Williams already put it out there to the spirit. She's come back. Now, what we're hearing also is that it's going to be directed by Andy Serkis. I am a fan of Andy Serkis. That man can do no wrong. I mean, can we talk about the franchises of Lord of the Rings? Can we talk about Planet of the Apes? I just can't say enough. He's been in many movies. Of course, I loved him as Ulysses Claw. I mean, he is exceptional. I know he directed the movie Mowgli. Kind of mixed reviews or whichever. But in the end, all the things he's been in with it. And obviously the people, the powers that be, see the potential with him through Sony. So they're, giving him the go ahead. Now, also him being a part of stuff that in regards to, the action sequences, the CGI and all that, him, having his hands and certain things like that, they probably feel like he has a good vision. And something makes me think whatever he was doing to pitch, what he sees as whatever the vision for the storyline, what they want to tell in the second, installment of the Venom franchise must have been something they loved, because now, like I said, he's going to be the director. I'm excited about that. Like I stated, I am Riz Ahmed. There's his name. It was going to bother me until I figured it out. I'm excited as well for Michelle Williams being attached to this. She, of course, is doing press for another movie, and they had asked her because she just stated that she's going to, and I was going to note what she says when she was talking to, I think she did some press for through Yahoo, and she stated, went on and said, I'm such a fan of Andy Serkis. She says, I'm so inspired by what he's been able to accomplish. He's so gifted in such specific way. I'm very excited to learn from him and be around him. Williams also hopes to see the return of She-Venom, mentioning, I hope I get equal time that way. I can say that. And I said, I like that, because let's just be real. She normally picks a lot of critically acclaimed films. So when I heard she was going on, I was really surprised that she was even going to be a part of the movie. But it must have been something about, of course, like I said, the storyline, the role, the potential, this or whatever. Plus, she has a good friendship and relationship with Tom Hardy. So that probably, worked into her wanting to come on board, liking what she did in the actual role to bring her back. So, like they say, you never say never. I can use another person as an example real quick. Robert Pattinson, after he'd already did the Twilight, I never thought he would do another type of type, not to say comic book, but maybe in that instance action, whatever, stick with more indie type of films. But being that he's going to be in the Batman movie and be Bruce Wayne, I was really surprised. So you just never know if the script is right, and you have you and the director see eye to eye and certain things that you want to get out there in regards to the story, to tell the story a certain way. Who knows, you can be convinced, and clearly he was. So, but yes, this I'm totally looking down for. Now, I'm not sure exactly what they're considering for a possibility. They're claiming that this is supposed to be coming out October of 2020. So I don't know, once she's finishing up press for this, if she's going straight into doing this movie. Is Andy Serkis getting ready? Are they already working on the script? They have the script already written out, whichever, even though he's already pitched, because I knew Venom 2 was in the works, but nothing yet, because we didn't know who was going to be directing it. So I felt it was on the back burner for a moment, but it's still summertime. They might get ready to start this in the fall. That would be nice. That it possibly be, because let me say, the reason I say that is because Morbius, which is another DC film, is going to be coming out in July. So I don't know, if that's, that's just enough wide space for them to have this come out when it needs to. We already have June. That's Wonder Woman time, hey, so we'll have to see. Birds of Prey at the beginning of the year. We have Wonder Woman in June, Morbius in July, and if this is the case, then it means October is going to be all about Venom. So that will be nice, because that is a good amount of different films for DC coming out all next year. That would be lovely. So, kudos to them if they actually are able to do that and make that work, whichever. So I will keep posted on this. just to see, to note the date on that, because other than that, we basically know who's actually being casted, so that part is not an issue. So it's just basically knowing when exactly is this coming out, so I can just be on, have it on my radar. So, but with that said, I'm moving on. For this one, I can't say enough because I love this individual, because he's one of my favorite directors of all time, and that is for Guillermo del Toro. And this has to do with a movie he's working on that's titled Nightmare Alley. This is based off of the novel from, I want to say, William Lindsay Gresham. This was a 1946 novel. I'm excited for this one because, let me just put out the gate, the casting on this. It's always interesting when certain actors, they really like the work that certain directors, put out when you see previous things, and then it's like they're just salivating to work with a director. So you already know, they know they're going to be a part of something really good. And I already know, because when he's attached to most of the stuff, I can't say, I don't even think if it's maybe one movie out of all his body of work that I might not really, really like, but overall I love all his work. I'm just going to name some of the people who are supposed to be in this. Now, let me at least note, Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to be attached to this, but he basically passed because he wanted to be in the movie Killer of the Flower Moon, excuse me about that, my bad, by Martin Scorsese. Well, I'm not surprised. Once I say Martin Scorsese, I should have really asked. And I already talked about this movie a couple of months ago that's in the works for him to be in that anyway. That's going to be a very good movie. I'm looking forward to that, and that's fine. It would have been nice to see him in something that's with Del Toro, because he's not done anything with him yet. So I hope they find the perfect project to do in the future. So, but the casting with this so far, the person who is replacing DiCaprio is going to be Bradley Cooper. Then we have Cate Blanchett. We have Toni Collette, William Dafoe, Rooney Mara, Richard Jenkins. We have Ron Perlman, Mark Pavanelli. Then we have Michael Shannon. That's right there is enough for me. I wouldn't even need to know anything about the storyline. I would go in there knowing that it's going to be something good, so I wouldn't even care. But I'm excited for this because that's a big name cast. That reminds me of two other movies that are going to be coming out. One this coming November, which is Knives Out. That's a great casting. And of course, Dune. So yes, this, and then other people working with, him and other actors, that they respect, whatever. It just makes it for a good, exciting, movie, which you'll get out of all the characters when they're together, playing off each other. This one, let me just kind of note a little bit of what it's saying in regards to a storyline. It says, Nightmare Alley follows Stanton Carlisle, a con artist who goes into business with an equally deceitful mentalist, Zena Krubin. And I think that character might be being played, I'm not sure who was playing who. Let me just put it like that. I'm just going to note that like that. I'm not going to even try to go through and factor who is playing which names from said novel, whichever. But needless to say, I have a feeling I'm just going to love whoever they're playing in the actual movie, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, this casting is just phenomenal. And I love that some of them are coming back to work with Del Toro. I mean, can I say enough about Ron Perlman? He's been attached to him since the 90s when he did his movie called Chronos. Then we have Richard Jenkins and Michael Shannon, who did The Shape of Water, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, really. And then everybody else who's coming on board has never worked with him that I've seen as of late. So this is nice that they're coming on board to work with him. But yes, just having that camaraderie and just, the people respecting the work and knowing that if they're coming on board, they know they're working with somebody. And just Del Toro just being an awesome director. And also, let me just give a shout out. Congratulations to him. He just got his Hollywood Walk of Fame. And he had a great little ceremony, and it was just, I was just so happy for him. I caught that. I was reading some blog, and it popped up, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even realize he's finally getting his, star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So kudos to him. Well deserved. Well deserved. So, but yes, this one I'm looking forward to. I'm excited. Hopefully, I will probably, maybe if they start talking about it, it might start showing anything from the set. I might discuss this again, and I could probably just go down the line of who's playing who, just to have a better understanding. As of right now, don't know when production, because it didn't know exactly. They're claiming maybe late 2019, early 2020, they'll start production. Don't know when this is coming out. I want to think it might be late 2020 or maybe early 2021. So I'll have to keep my eyes open for that one, but there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just looking forward to seeing another Del Toro movie because he's, again, one of those type of directors. As soon as he has something that comes out, I'm always there to go see it. I can't help it. So, but with that said, moving on. Now, this is the last and final one. I'm excited for this one. And this one is a long time coming because the first one came out in 1988, and I'm talking about Coming to America 2. Now, for a while, of course, we already know Eddie Murphy's being attached. Looking forward to seeing, just basically a conclusion to the first one, whichever. Now, I will say this: when I talked about this a couple months back, I was excited. It's going to be him, of course, Arsenio Hall. We have some people coming back. Let me put out the people coming back first. Of course, we have Sherry Hetley coming back. She's, of course, playing, of course, his wife, the one he went looking for, his true love. We have Paul Bates coming back, our queen to be. I won't even do that. My apologies. Also, James Earl Jones is coming back. So right there, and then of course John Amos is coming back. I'm excited. Mr. McDowell is coming back. So just excitement of knowing that we have a lot of familiar faces coming back makes me very happy to see the movie. Now I'm going to get into how we have some newbies coming to the fold, and I'm excited for this. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is Wesley Snipes. Now, of course, you already know how I felt about him not being on Blade, but I'm happy to know he's going to be on this. I know that Eddie does have a respect, for some of the work that Wesley has put out over the years, and I'm happy that he's bringing him into the fold with this, whichever, because this is going to definitely be a star-studded, and a lot of people are going to go out and see this, whichever. Plus, I haven't seen Wesley in anything as of late, so I'm happy he is working on something. I'm going to be checking to see if there's anything else of him coming out, because I would love to go see it, whichever. I'm just happy he's out doing his thing. His character, let me note, is going to be called a General Easy. He's supposed to be considered a rival of sorts, a neighboring rival African, nation, whichever. From what I've been hearing, supposedly we thought this would be another character that Eddie would be playing with in the movie, so basically, doing General Easy himself. But now it looks like he's going to bring Wesley into the fold to play said, foe against a nemesis, whatever. That's fine. I'm going to love to see how he is. He's going to probably be a serious one, because I will say this: I don't see Wesley in anything that's mostly comedy like all this. He definitely does more action and drama. So to see him in this, I want to see exactly how his character is going to be. So that will be interesting. Also, we have some other people coming on board. We have Leslie Jones. I am so happy for her. Love me some Leslie. I've been following Leslie off of her comedy circuit for years, even when she was on BET back in the day. So I'm excited to see her branch out. Of course, already doing herself, kudos on SNL, and of course doing other movies and all that. So now with this one is definitely going to put her out there for sure in movies, and hopefully she'll start getting more movie roles, because I would love to see her in more things. Also, we're going to have Kiki Layne. She was in If Beale Street Could Talk. She will be playing the daughter. And then this is where it gets into it, where I'm going to get into a little bit of my rant. The supposedly lost heir, male heir, his name is Jermaine Fowler. I'm not familiar with his work, so he's definitely a newcomer to me. So let me just go ahead and break down this whole situation with this. It says Akeem is getting set to become king of Zamunda when he discovers that he has a son that he is unaware of in America. The street smart New Yorker is called Lavelle. That is by Jermaine Fowler's character's name. He says, and with Hakeem's father, James R. Jones, makes the dying wish of wanting Akeem to travel to New York and to collect Lavelle, who's the rightful heir to the title of Prince of Zamunda. Akeem must once again set off the concrete jungle of New York City. Meanwhile, Lane will be playing Prince Akeem's daughter, who's long been troubled by her father's treating her as though she were the son that he never had. Now, the reason I say it like this is because when I read the situation of Long Lost Son, let me just go back, and I'm going to tell you like this. Somebody in my comment section, please, because I know I'm not losing my mind. When we saw Coming to America, and I've seen it multiple times, I like to know what long lost, child. Because I don't recall ever seeing him hook up with anybody within the movie. So unless there was a scene with one of those instances where it showed him and his sidekick, Arsenio Hall, going on and meeting people in that little club. If you all remember that long scene, the twins, then Arsenio Hall playing one of the women, eating the cherry. Yes, we never saw him hook up with anybody. So I'd like to know where this long lost, child he had when he was searching for his true love, his queen, played by Headley. So I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this storyline. I'm supposed to really believe he has a long lost child out there. So that's fine. It is what it is, because they're going along with this. Now, I'm going to love the dynamic of the daughter being, very strong, whichever and all that, proving herself, to be, that this great child that they raised, in Zamunda, whichever, and feeling she should be the heir. But then, of course, how he finds out he has, a child out there in New York City and going back now to find this child. that is the weird thing to me, because now it's almost like you're basically, once you hear this news, you're ready to go, all forgetting that, yeah, here's your daughter, I'm right here, whichever, your child who loves, admires, and adores you, whichever, is feeling, second fiddle now. So I'm just curious to see how this is going to unfold. It's going to be really, really interesting when the story is told. I'm looking forward to seeing this gentleman, Jermaine Fowler, do this character of Lavelle, street smarts, whichever, feeling a certain way, whichever, wanting more for himself, whichever, and about to get just that, unbeknownst to him. So, but other than that, I'm looking forward to the movie. I'm excited. I never thought we were going to get a second one. I was perfectly fine if we didn't get it, because the first one is a classic. I can watch it. I don't care if it's anything else on. If I saw that thing passing through channels, I would stop and watch that. That is truly a classic, a cult freaking classic. Plus, Eddie Murphy giving us all these different characters within the movie. It was hilarious. I was literally sometimes in tears watching this, and to this day I still laugh. My stomach just hurts just laughing so much from that movie. So I'm looking forward to this. Don't have an actual date still. I'm hoping they'll note that very soon. I'm figuring this must be something that's coming out next year for certain, because now we're ramping up the amount of people who are coming on board. So I'm fingers crossed. I'm excited. I'm ready to just see this. I look forward to seeing that trailer. I feel like I'm not going to be able to contain myself. I swear to goodness, I feel like it's going to come. I'm hoping early next year, maybe January, February, we might get a trailer by then after the holidays, and maybe this might come out during the summer, because as much as we have blockbusters coming out, I want to see a little bit of everything. I would love to see a good comedy. So fingers crossed, it will be out sometime next year. So, but with that said, you guys, I hope you enjoyed my movie news. Comment on any of them. I'm curious to know what you all think. And with that said, I will see you guys in the next one. You guys take care.